Welcome back to Yvette's View, where we continue to vibe high on good high vibrations. And today, I'm so grateful to be back on this wonderful moon day, this 777 day, because it's the seventh month. It is the seventh day, and 25, 2 and 5 equals 7. So it's such a beautiful time to be alive, and a beautiful time to be here to even speak with you about just a brief introduction of what I'm getting ready to do differently coming up. I won't be doing a Tasting Tuesday anytime soon because I'm getting ready to do a little mini series. And the mini series is about my journey and how I manifested family members, how I manifested my place, and how I manifested just changing my whole internal being. I just decided that, there were certain things I wanted to elevate from, certain things I wanted to change, certain things I wanted to do differently in my mental and my spiritual, just growth. And those were my intentions. And that journey started in the month of July, specifically on the 8th, which is a very significant day because I'm choosing to honor a great man, someone who intentionally wanted to make sure that I arrived on this planet, and that's my daddy. And I must say, which is going to be very significant in this mini series, to let you know a little bit about me, I am a certified daddy's girl. And what I mean by that is that I hung on every word that man told me. If he was, you could not have told me that he was a liar. You couldn't have told me that he never told the truth. He was the realest man I knew. And he was an alpha man. He was a man that didn't take no mess. He didn't bite his tongue, and I love that about him. And then there were times I didn't love that about him because, sometimes you want him to be a little bit more gentler, but that wasn't his way. His way was being a straight shooter, and giving it to you that way prepared you in his mind for the world. And for that, I'm grateful for it, because it literally did. It helped me navigate a lot of things in my life. And it also made me want to do whatever I could do to make sure that he was happy, that I would please him. I never wanted to look bad in front of his eyes. I never wanted to do anything that would disappoint him. And he was just right there in my forethought and things that I would choose to do, right? And he just played such a great role in my life that I made a decision as a young lady that if he ever got sick and they got older, that I would be the one to make sure that he was good. I would take care of him. I would do whatever I needed to do, because I would not allow anyone else to take care of him. That was my daddy. I was very possessive. Yeah, that's how much of a daddy's girl I was. I was very possessive of him. And I think he was kind of possessive of me as well, because, things he would tell me that sometimes would just be like, Dad, come on now. I got to get out and have a relationship, and he would be like, for what? There's nothing out there. But I knew he didn't want me to get hurt and all that kind of stuff. So he just did a lot of stuff to protect me. I always felt safe. I felt secure. No one could ever hurt me as long as that man was here. No one could disappoint me as long as he was here. He was so dependable for me and to me. I was spoiled, rotten. I am his only girl, and I'm the baby of the family. So for most people, when you tell them that you're the baby of the family and you're a girl, oh, they already know you're rotten, especially if you have a daddy in your life. And I'm so grateful and thankful that I had a daddy in my life. You're my daddy. You don't get to, it's nothing personal, but then it was personal. I was selfish. Call me whatever. I don't care. At that time and during that time in my life, that man was mine. He was my daddy. You just couldn't say anything about him because I literally knew everything about him. I studied him. I watched him. I was a very observant child, and I think he saw that and knew that. And I watched him as a man. And as I started to grow up and be a young lady, I literally was like, do you know how to do this? Because my daddy and any man that I did go out with, they knew that I had a daddy because his name is coming up in the conversation somewhere in the date. That's just how it was. And I did, I knew I kind of turned off some guys because, they just weren't going to be able to live up to that standard that he provided for me. And I can recall one time, I'm gonna give you a quick little snippet story that doesn't have to do with my elevation, but just kind of show you kind of how this man was for me and to me, and how he would intimidate my dates or whoever I thought I was going out with at the time. I believe I was still in high school. I was 17 and I was going out with a young man, and we thought we were going to get married. We thought we were in love, and so I'm like, well, you gotta, talk to my dad. I talked to my daddy because he's the one that you got to get through. You got to get through that person first. If he gives you the A-OK, then it's all good from there. And so as he went to talk to my father and told him how he felt, my daddy shot him down so quick. It was so cold. It wasn't, I was like, oh my God. But what happened was he told my father that he loved me and was going to take care of me. And he was, so my father's asking him, so how are you going to do that? Because look around you. You see this? And he's pointing towards this house that we lived in. This is what she's used to. If you can't provide this, you're not ready. And I was like, Daddy, that's not fair. You guys didn't start off in a house. That took time. And he's looking at me like, if you don't go somewhere and sit down, I negotiate this. I'm looking out for your best interests. You up here ready to settle for crackers, and I'm trying to give you, graham crackers, the little bit higher up, with the sweet and the, you go sit down somewhere. And I was just like, and then what was so funny was that when my father told him that he did not love me, and he agreed, my boyfriend at the time, my supposedly get ready to be my fiance, agreed that you're right, and I heard that, I was done. because I felt like if you're a man, you shouldn't allow my father to intimidate you. You have to stand up and be a man in front of this man. That's the only way you're going to get my respect. You know what I'm saying? So that's how much of an influence that my daddy had on me. So if you couldn't get past him, we're not going anywhere. If you can't be respectful and honor him and still stand up and be a man in front of the man that I honor, then yeah, it's just not gonna happen, you know? And that's why I said I'm a certified daddy's girl. And I'm still a certified daddy's girl because he continues to watch over me. He continues to protect me, and he continues to spoil me. And this is, like I said, just a brief introduction. I kind of went off on that little quick example of how much he impacted my life, and how when he transitioned on the 8th, it literally changed my world. And like I said, and I will say this, during that time, I thought I would not have made it. I used to tell him all the time, I used to tell my daddy all the time, I said, if anything happens to you, I'm not gonna make it. I used to say that to him all the time. And his response would be, you gonna either make it or you won't live. And only the strong survives. And to him, the way he said it to me, it was like, and I didn't bring you here to be that weak where you're just gonna fall off and just give up. I'm not putting that in you. My daddy was so influential in my life that he definitely made it hard for any man to live up to that standard. But anyway, family, I just wanted to give you a brief introduction of my mini series that will start on the 8th. This is just a brief introduction to that, giving you a little bit of snippet of who I am and why the 8th of July was and is very significant in my journey. So with that being said, this is going out to the Akashic Records, and this is going out to the World Wide Web. I trust that it helps someone along in their journey. So with that being said, family, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you're notified when I post a video. And I'll see you on the 8th. And also continue to vibe high on good high vibrations. Peace.